Hello, FlossTube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Sunday. It is the 15th of July. No, it is Monday, the 15th of July. Dan is home and it's throwing me off completely. He took Friday and today off. And it's totally, I've thought it's Sunday all day today. But it is not. It is Monday. It is the 15th. Tomorrow is Dan's birthday. Dan, right there. So everybody wish Dan a happy birthday. This is Chart of the Day video number 156. And welcome to my channel. How are you today? Doing good. It's hotter than Hades out, but I'm not complaining. I would rather it was hot than cold. I was telling Dan that in the car yesterday. Yep, it's hot in the car when we get in, but the cold air was already blowing out, and it takes about 20 minutes for hot air to blow out when it's wintertime. So I don't mind the heat. I don't mind the humidity. I'm fine. But I know a lot of other people. If I had to work outside, then I probably wouldn't be fine. But I don't have to work outside, so it's all good for me. Anyway, we are going to do a Chart of the Week video today. Dan is working on I've kind of given him yet another project to do, so he's working on getting the walls prepared for painting the entryway. I still have to pick the paint color, but one of my antique finds that you won't see until the next video requires a little work, and I'm going to put it in the entryway, and I want to change the color before I do that. So he's prepping the walls, and then I will probably try and get another. I tried one paint sample. It wasn't, lighting makes a huge difference in color on your paint. And I know what I want in my head, and according to the sample of the paint, like the chip, it should have been perfect, but it was not. So I'm going to have to go darker. There's a surprise. I'm going darker. So anyway, today's chart is from Samplers Not Forgotten. It's called Peace on Earth. It came out at market. I haven't heard anyone talking about it, although Roxy did say she was partway through stitching it. So I thought it was really pretty. I had no requests for it when I was taking pre-orders, but I did bring a couple into the shop. I just thought it was a very pretty Christmas chart. So it looks something like this. I just think it's pretty. That house, that's a house. It's going to take a while to build. She had hers stitched on Winter Woolens by Seraphim, which I happen to be out of. So I've just chosen some others that look like that. And the stitch count is 243 by 222, so it's not teeny tiny, but it's also not, aside from the house, it's not jam-packed. So I don't know that it would take. Sorry, I just laid my paper on my microphone. You probably heard that. It's not jam-packed, so it's not as intense as what you might think. The threads are from Weeks Dye Works. I'm a little irritated about the threads. Nothing to do with this chart. I had the threads all pulled at work on Saturday and was working in between customers to pull fabric. So I had my threads at the cutting table, and at the end of the day, when I went back for them and to finish pulling fabrics, they were nowhere to be found. The stitchers and I looked everywhere. They were not there. So I looked in fabric that had been pulled out for other people. I looked at the counter. I looked on the floor. I looked in the trash can. I looked in the the box underneath the cutting table that holds the shipping supplies, the threads were gone. I can only assume from that they walked out on their own somehow. So, and unfortunately, a couple of them were my last skein. So I had to come home and rob some projects in order to do this video, because I had spent too much time pulling threads to fix something else.
Did you rob from Peter to stitch Paul?
I did rob from Peter to show Paul. Anyway, it's all weeks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors. Some of that, one requires 3. The red, you'll need 3. And the lily pad, you'll need 2. What else would you like to know? The model, like I said, was stitched on Winter Woolens, 36 count. So that should give you a good idea of what the chart is about. She makes really nice charts. They're nice and large so you can read them. So let's get started showing some different fabrics. These are the, what'd you say? Shall we? So these are the colors. I had to rob this one from downstairs. So this is probably not what charcoal looks like. It's got a little more brown to it than what current day charcoal has. And the other one I had to rob was lily pad, because I'm out of lily pad. I have to place an order on Tuesday for threads. But that's your color palette. I have a fabric here called Winter White, which I think is similar, somewhat similar. It's just a very light with some modeling. I'm thinking that the very light color in here is the windows in that chart, but I haven't really looked. I should have done that before. But I'm going to guess it might be some of the bricks, but I think it's probably the windows. So I don't think it's going to be an issue on light. So if you like that kind of look, if you like the lighter look, this fabric would be fine. Everything would show up and it would give you a similar look to the cover. There's a couple other choices in a lighter fabric that I pulled. I have to figure out where to put things. I just recorded another portion of a video, and so I have stuff everywhere. That will be what I do after this. This is Milk and Honey from Fiber on a Whim. And again, it's a lighter fabric, but your colors will all show up on there quite nicely. And it will give you that same look as what the cover is. That is an 18 count Ada. And then I think I have Cream and Sugar, also from Fiber on a Whim. That would also be good for this. Has a slight green modeling to it, which I think would be pretty with those Christmas trees. So that would be very pretty if you want, if that's if you want it to look like the picture. All right, if you want to do something different than the picture, I have several options. This first is 16 count copper penny. I don't have much of it, and I don't think it's probably being made anymore. But it almost has the look of suede, it's very pretty. And that's what those colors would look like on there. Which I think would be very pretty. I did it again. I put it on top of my... Sorry if you couldn't hear me. It's one of those days. 16 count Broomgrass Ada. This is a darker brown. Very mottled. Also think it would be pretty. Then we are going to jump to 36 count Dulce de Leche, which, as you know, is kind of a brownie green. Do you like my technical term for that? It's a brownie green. A couple of the colors might need to be adjusted up or down depending on the portion that you get it on. It's possible that these two are also inside other things, in which case you would have no problems whatsoever. But I haven't actually looked at that. Mostly because I was seriously ticked at missing these fibers. Very ticked. I went back and made sure that, you know, they didn't accidentally get into someone else's bag and I charged them for it, because that wouldn't be good. And then they weren't. This is 36 count Ligonier Latte, and I could be fracturing that word Ligonier, but hopefully not. It's a lighter beige color and would look like that. I think that would be really pretty. Added bonus, R&R fabric always smells really good. Coffee. It's just a shame you can't get it very easily. All right, next up is, this is Cypress from Fiber on a Whim. It is a green. This could possibly be my favorite. I don't know. I think it would be pretty on there. Like I said, it could be my favorite, but I don't know. This next one is a 28 count Dusty Green Jobelin. Which I think would be pretty. I think that would be pretty. Next up is Fox and Rabbit 32 count Eucalyptus. It's a dark, rich, sort of blue-gray or blue-green. It's got both yellow undertones and blue undertones depending on the portion of the modeling. So I think it could be really pretty. It's mostly got the blues in it, so the lily pad would show up fine on there. Then there's a 36 count tin roof. This is the tin roof on Zweigart base. So it's kind of a green. That would give it a little more primitive look. I kind of like that one too. And last but not least is Chestnut from Stephanie. It is a very dark brownish green. It's got a lot of brown in it. Got a lot of. It's a funny color because it tends to change. And I might, if it were me, change the green to something a little bit either brighter or darker. It's probably okay, but I'm just cautioning you that you might need to do that on this one. But I like the rest of the colors on it, so I'd probably would change this to a different color. And that's what I have. Christmas will be here before we know it. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. But it will be. So my computer is suffering an issue. It's the same issue that my previous computer had, where it's just automatically shutting down in the middle of recording, or it's not saving the video. And that just happened, so I'm picking up where I left off, but I'll have to splice this in. I had finished up with the fabric, so I wanted to talk about the last time we did a chart of the day and the question of the day, which had to do with trying to duplicate something that your mother, aunt, cousin, friend that's no longer around, a recipe of theirs, that you have their recipe, but it doesn't taste anything like. It's close, but it's not the same as what your loved one's recipe tasted like to you. It seems to be a universal issue. A lot of people have that problem. Melanie's theory is that it was the love that was put into it, and that's what makes the difference, and that could be it. I don't know. I just know it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating when you cannot duplicate it and it does not taste. I suppose part of it could be, your taste buds change with age. But they don't tastes don't seem to be the same, although I seem to have very particular taste buds, and I don't know if that's the issue or not, but I suppose it could be part of it is your taste buds do change as you age and get less acute, sharp, whatever word we want to use. So anyway, I do thank you very much for responding to that question. Today's question of the day, when Dan and I were traveling to Lincoln to the antique store, there was just a lot of traffic on a late day. It wasn't a rush hour situation. It was a weekend. It was late in the day, but there was just a crap ton of traffic on the interstate. And I'm thinking to myself, where are all these people going? I mean, there are a lot of people on the interstate for this time of the day. Where are they going? What are they doing? Why are they on my road? That's the big one. Why are you on the road in front of me driving too slowly? So I asked Dan, I said, do you ever wonder where these people are going? You know, what are they? Why are they on my highway, slowing me down? And he was driving. It wasn't me, but you know, you get these little people. There was one little old man, and he's got, hunched over the wheel, and his mouth is hanging open. Looked like he was about ready to pass out at the wheel. So I asked him. I said, "Do you ever wonder where these people are headed?" And he said, "Well, no, he never does." And I do. I wonder where they're going, and then to amuse myself, I make up little stories about what they're doing. Like there was a brand new pickup and fifth wheel being pulled by a couple. Because I always look at the people. Do you look at the people you pass? I always kind of look at the people out of the corner of my eye. Anyway, it was a couple, and it was brand spanking new truck and brand spanking new fifth wheel, and I'm in my head I'm making up the story about they're heading west, so they're on their first adventure with their new pickup and their new trailer, and they're got their course all plotted out as to where they're going to camp next and what sights they're going to see, and or they're going to visit their kids. And they've got dogs in the back, so they have to travel with the travel trailer because no one will take 9 dogs, that sort of thing. So I'm just wondering, because he doesn't do that, so I was just wondering, which is good when he's driving. I wish he wouldn't. But I was just interested to know whether I'm the only whack job out there who's doing that, or whether you guys make up little stories too. Just curious. If you wouldn't mind answering that question, I would appreciate it. Also, if you would, just leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. My stats have been kind of flat lately, and so I don't know if it's my content is boring everybody, or everyone's just busy. I don't know. It gets a lot of views, but not a lot of likes, no new subscriptions. So it helps me in the analytics. I don't have my videos monetized, so it's not going to help with monetization, but it does help me be seen, and I do appreciate being seen. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your week. However, you will see this video will post next Monday. So you're going to see this in a week. So have a great one, and I will see you in the next video. You take care until then. Bye.